Hello girls, today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today I'm going to be, as you can tell by the title, just telling you guys sex tips. And I know a lot of you young girls, if you've started your period, then you've most likely thought about having sex. You haven't, some of you might have just said, I wonder what it would be like. And some of you want to. Some of you are older, some of you are around 15 or 16. So, especially towards the older kids, and even some of the younger kids are having sex these days, and I don't want to sound like an old lady, but like, seriously, they're all crazy. Anyways, we're just going to go ahead and get started before I ramble so much that your head explodes. Yeah, so the number one tip I can give you is to masturbate, and I know this is looked down upon, but let's be honest, a lot of us do it. All you have to do is explore yourself. Get a mirror, get your phone camera, get something that is a mirror and look at yourself and explore, try rubbing, try putting your finger, stuff like that. Explore yourself, know what you want. Yeah, so the main reason that you should masturbate is to know what you want, because if you go into having sex not even knowing what you enjoy, then he's going to be like, so how are we going to do this? And if you go, I don't know what I want, then he's going to be like, oh, okay, and then it's going to fail and all go over. If you want to successfully have sex, you should most likely masturbate and try to know what you want. Because if you go in there, he's like, so how are we going to do this? And you're like, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put your hand here, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you know what you want, then he's going to be like, oh, okay, this isn't that hard, and y'all are going to have a blast. So yeah. And another reason you should masturbate, which is also kind of going into my second thing, so I'm going to go ahead and say my second, freaking crap. My second tip is that it hurts. It hurts a lot. Not all girls are the same. Some girls it hurts way worse. Some girls it hurts none at all. But it hurts. And one way you can relieve that painfulness is if you put your fingers in your vagina. And I know that sounds so disgusting to some of you, and some of you already do it. Y'all are just wondering more about it. But you gotta explore yourself, and it might hurt to do it for the first time, and the second time, and the third time masturbating even. But you gotta explore yourself. Start off with one finger, and then try to gradually go to two, and then if you're really lucky and you know, you're like, oh, this is so bad, try to go to 3 and kind of do this so it's bigger. My point showing you to do that with 3 instead of 2 or 1 is so it's kind of representing the size of a male's penis, if that makes any sense. Like, oh, sorry. So it would be like if you start off small and then go to your second finger and then third finger. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do this in the same exact day for most of you, because a lot of you most likely haven't masturbated before and haven't had something up in there, so it's probably going to take more time. The first day, I would definitely do this, maybe even the second day, and then gradually kind of stick your fingers in there more. And that right there is almost the size of a penis. So it's not going to hurt as bad when you are having sex, because the main thing that people are nervous about in having sex is the painfulness. And if you already have things that are big going into you, if that makes any sense. If you already have big things going into you, it's not going to really hurt when a guy's penis goes into you. You're going to be like, oh, okay. And you know, that kind of just leads to nervousness is the last thing you have to worry about. Because once you're comfortable with using 3 fingers, you are God. Like, it's not going to hurt as bad. It might still hurt. And if you masturbate on a regular fingering, then it's not going to hurt as bad. And it might still hurt a little, but it's not going to be as bad. So I'd definitely do that if you're worried about sex. My third tip, by the way, this is 10 tips, which you will also see in the title, but I haven't mentioned it in this video. My third tip is kind of just, okay, so basically my third tip is to get a trusted person. You don't want to go around having your first, sex, or your first time having sex with a random person or someone you don't know that you trust. Make sure you've dated this guy for a while and you know that you trust him and you love him and you appreciate him and you at least kind of see a future with him, because Your first time is very, very important. It might not seem like it, and to a lot of people, it's not important. But for me, it's going to be important for you, if that makes any sense. So it's going to be important, which is why you are definitely going to need to get a trusted person, because if you don't have a trusted person, then what's the point in even doing it, because all the nerves are away and it's not fun anymore. My fourth tip, which is... Alright. Sorry, I'm trying to make a different screen for everything, for every tip, so you guys don't get bored with what I'm saying. So, my fourth tip is don't do it like porn. Don't do it like porn. We have all most likely have watched porn, and if you haven't, I highly suggest it, and hopefully you know how to clear your history. I highly suggest it just to see kind of how it's done and, you know, stuff like that. Don't do it like the porn people, though. Because if you end up doing it like the professional porn people, you might think, oh, that feels the best, but it doesn't. Porn people, they're not worried about if it feels good or not. They're worried about whether it's a good angle or whether you can see her vagina or his penis correctly. It's like that, not how good it feels. Most of the moans in fake porn, or not fake porn, most of the moans in professional porn are fake. Which is why you might be confused, because like the first few times you have sex, it might not feel the best, and it might never feel as good as they make it seem like it does. You might have small moans like, I'm not going to moan because I don't want any old men being like, oh yeah, that's nice, let me put that on replay. But like you might have small moans and not loud ones like they do, and that's because they're all fake. Well, most of them. So that is why you don't do it like porn, because it doesn't feel as good. Number 5, or tip 5. Use protection. I know you get told this so much probably, but if you don't use protection, then what are you doing? And if you are a girl or a guy who can't find condoms and your parents don't just freely give you out condoms because they don't want you having sex, then guess what? Go buy some. I'm not sure if there's an age limit on condom buying, but go ask an older friend for one. Go ask a teacher for one. You might have a sex ed teacher, and go ask them for one, because they will most likely give you one. I've never had that situation where I had to go ask a sex ed teacher to give me a condom, but, you know, they'll most likely give it to you, and you say, I'm not sure, and I don't want to just, like, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they'll hopefully give you one, or even ask the nurse at school, and if you ask them to keep it secret, they probably will, I don't even freaking know. But also use lube. Lube is so important. Lube is so important. It helps the penis slide into the vagina so much easier. I am not even kidding. Like, and if you can't afford lube, or if you don't have lube or any access to it, use spit. Spitting on the vagina and the penis can help so much, and that can be your lube. Okay. Now, don't go straight into it. Don't just, like, pull up to the guy's house or, like, be there. I don't know where y'all are planning, but, or if you even, I don't know, but wherever y'all do it, don't just pull up and start trying to do it. Kind of start making out, and then get to the touching and stuff like that, and then go into the actual inserting of it. Because if you go straight into it, it'll be so much pressure, and you'll kind of feel forced. Speaking of feeling forced, going into my 8th tip, do not feel forced to do it. Don't feel forced. If you don't want to do it and this guy's like, ooh, I'm just trying to get it in, I just want to, you know, pop your cherry, I'm just trying to lose my V card to your V card, and I don't want to have to dump you. If he's saying that he'll dump you if you don't freaking do it with him, then he's probably a bad boyfriend, and you should probably dump him before he forces you to do something you're not comfortable with. Which also falls along the lines of do it with someone you trust. Yeah. 9th tip. 9th tip. Relax and have fun. Don't make it all serious, being like, oh, I just want to lose my virginity. Go ahead, just do it. Don't do that. Just have fun with it. Kind of laugh about if you can't get it in. Be like, whoops, that hurts. Ow. And then start laughing. And if you're too hurt to laugh, you should probably try to do it another day. I also know that waiting a day, like trying to get it one day, And then if you fail, just try it again the next day and it'll be a lot easier according to a lot of, people. A lot of story time people, you can look it up and stuff. Yeah, but just have fun with it. You're not there to immediately lose your V card and stuff like that. Also, falls along the lines of, do not force yourself into losing your virginity just because everybody else is. If you're not comfortable with it, that's fine. I know, well, I don't personally know, but I've heard of some people who waited 28 to lose their virginity because they weren't comfortable with it, and I really respect the people who did that. Ta-da. 10th and very, very last one, but definitely not least important. Don't be afraid to tell them to stop doing it. Okay, now that we're done with that. Don't be afraid to tell them to stop doing it. Because you want to know what that'll do? They'll respect you. And if they don't respect you, they're probably a bad person to even do it with. But, like, if you're like, ow, that hurts, can you please take it out? Or can you please slow down? Don't be afraid to ask them to slow down, take it out, stop for the day, try again tomorrow. Change your mind. Don't be afraid to change your mind. Don't be afraid to say, actually, I don't want to do this. I want to wait until I get older. Do not be afraid to say any of those things. Mad respects to you if you've done that to someone before and told them to, like, wait and stuff. Mad respects. Anyways, that concludes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was very, very long, but I feel like sex education is very, very important. And if you don't have it, you won't know what to do, and you'll be scared, and you'll sometimes end up pregnant if you don't know about the protection and the lube and the birth control and stuff like that. Also, try not to lose your virginity at a young age because people will just lose respect for you and stuff like that. And your mom won't put you on birth control either because, one, you'll be too young to give yourself birth control, I think. And your mom, if you're like, hey, I need birth control, your mom will just stop you from having sex if she's a good parent. Anyways, that concludes my video. I love you guys so much. Peace out. Bye.